Lysippus, originally from Sicyon, is considered to be one of the three greatest sculptors of the 4th century. He specialized in athletic statues, as this one I will be analyzing knows as Apoxymenos, or man scraping himself, a Roman copy of the bronze original. This masterpiece demonstrated the importance of athletics within that stage of history. Within that period, athletics were a reflection of the philosophical, religious, and civic values that were at the forefront of the entire Greek culture. Side note, Marcus Agrippa, a Roman general, placed this specific work of art in front of his bath. Sculpture Man Scraping Himself, Apoxymenos, a Roman copy of the original bronze from 350 to 325 BC. Here the implied narrative is a young athletic individual whose body is filled with sweat and dust after exercising. After his workout, he is seen here washing himself. You need to note that during that period of time, people would wash themselves by putting on oil first. What Apoxymenos is doing here is oiling himself, followed by using a strigil to scrape off all the dirt and oil off of his body. The strigil is an iron scraper that was used to clean off the oil as well as any grime. Now what you see here is an innovative piece of artwork by Lysippus. He demonstrates it by having Apoxymenos reaching out in the surrounding space by scraping himself instead of other statues that have their arms placed by their sides. By having the athlete cleaning himself, this allows the person to break out of the frontal orientation of classical sculptures. This motivates the observer to examine the athlete from different angles and grasp Apoxymenos from different views. By looking at the sculpture, you can tell that Lysippus displayed one style he is known for, which is altering the classical canon of proportion. The canon of proportions used by many sculptors or artists was a set ideal numerical mathematical ratios in art that was used to understand proportional relationship among the basic elements of the human body. Now comparing canons of proportion, one would look at Polyclitus' spear bearer, which Lysippus drew inspiration from, who within the 5th century established a canon when measured was 7 heads long. Lysippus' scraper statue has been lengthened and the figure is 8 heads long. One could say that this demonstrates the shift to naturalism at the end of the classical period. Moreover, looking at his face, the athlete having his eyes open knows that he's being watched. He's very relaxed and his mouth closed with an archaic smile. Looking at his tone and muscular definition, one can see that this athlete was very powerful and manly. Moreover, the hair demonstrates the naturalistic element of the structure, and this aspect portrays stylization. Apoxymenos is a great example of contrapposto. Contrapposto refers to a sculpture when it is in a relaxed, naturalistic, non-stiff pose. As you can see, the athlete is relaxed and has put all of his weight on one leg. The ancient Greeks were the first to invent and put on display naturalistic portraits of the human figure. You can see a great example of the Kouros in a non-contrapposto pose versus Apoxymenos, who is in a contrapposto pose. Lastly, after doing research, I came across that the bronze original was strong enough that it did not need the support from the tree trunk you can see behind the sculpture. Looking at the arms, you can see that at first they had created support that would hold up the marble arm, but then that was broken off. I hope you enjoyed the analysis that I provided you on Apoxymenos, the man scraping himself by Lysippus.